Welcome to the next lesson, creating a professional online presence. And here's what we'll be going over. Why having a professional online presence can help you out in this business, the different routes that you can take when you're creating yours, and how to do all this for practically free. An online presence is simply a collection of websites and social media profiles that define you and your business on the internet. And since we will be selling products online, your online presence will be the primary way that people know about you. Gone are the days of people actually using a phone book to look up companies or even people. They simply go to the internet, go to their phone or their computer, and they do a search. Now, we're only creating an online presence as a company looking to source products. This lesson is not about creating a website or a Facebook page for your products or for your brand. It's simply for you as a company looking to source products. And this is important because having this professional online presence can help create immediate trust and legitimacy, such as with the suppliers that you'll be contacting. And while this is completely optional, it can help you work with your potential suppliers, especially if you're nervous at all about not coming across as sounding like a real business. By setting up a few simple online profiles, you'll be ready to go and you'll look like a pro in no time at all. And we recommend, again, setting up an online presence based upon your company and not your brand or your product. At least for now. We can do all that later on once you've actually selected your product. Now, the following are fast, easy, and almost free to set up. The first would be a domain email address, so that way you're not using an email address at Yahoo or Google or MSN. My example here is mike@awesomeproducts.com. In that example, I don't really have that email address, but that doesn't say anything specific about my industry or my products or anything. It simply is the name of a company, a fictitious company that I've created up that I can use when talking with suppliers. Next, I will use a LinkedIn profile, and I'll use that name and email address to set that up. LinkedIn is the new standard for companies looking and people looking to set up professional business profiles. We'll also set up an Alibaba profile, especially if you will be sourcing products on Alibaba. And then we'll be setting up a Facebook page for your business. This is not your personal page, it's a Facebook business page. We won't really use it for anything right now, but setting it up now will get it out of the way and you can use this later on. Now, keep in mind that I mentioned setting up your LinkedIn profile before your Alibaba profile. And there's a reason for that. If you have a LinkedIn profile set up and activated, then creating your Alibaba profile is incredibly fast to do. Now, there are a few different routes we can go when creating this and getting this set up based upon your level of comfort. The first is if you already have an existing online presence, for example, you already have a LinkedIn profile, maybe you already have a domain email address set up with a company that you own or plan on using, and if you're okay sharing that with the world, then you can go ahead and just simply use that. There's no problem at all. Now, if you don't have one, but you do plan on creating one, and you will be comfortable with friends and family and coworkers knowing about it, that's the second route. You can go out there and do everything we're talking about and use all your real info, and you won't really be concerned with anyone knowing about the new business you're starting. Now, the other option is you don't have an online presence, but you do plan on following steps and creating one, but you want to keep it quiet for now. You're not quite ready to let anyone in your life, whether they're workers or friends or family, know about it. That's totally fine too. You just set that up with that in mind. And then, of course, the fourth option is you simply don't want to go down this route. That is completely fine. We can always do this later on, or this is something you don't necessarily have to do. Again, we said this is optional. It will help you, but it's not something that will necessarily keep you from being successful in this business. Now, the first thing we want to talk about is choosing your company name. Since you don't have your final product chosen yet, and most likely you don't have your brand, it's best to choose a generic company name and not something tied to a specific product. If you think about some of the biggest companies out there, Apple, Nike, and Amazon, they're all examples of company names that have absolutely nothing to do with their products. So even though our first inclination is to come up with a company name tied specifically to the type of product that we think we want to sell, you don't have to do that. And we actually kind of recommend not doing that because it limits you then to that one specific niche or category or brand. You can. It's not to say that there's anything wrong with doing that. We're just telling you our advice is to not necessarily limit yourself right now. Plus, this can be changed at any point in time in the future. What we're doing here is we're not actually going through and incorporating or creating a business. We're simply creating these social media profiles using a company name that we are coming up with in our mind. We can always come up with a real name, and as a matter of fact, we suggest later on down the road you do that. You actually incorporate or create an LLC for your company, and then you can repeat these processes and set them up under your real company name. Now, a question we always get is, what if we already have a professional LinkedIn profile? And we kind of touched upon that in the previous slide. But if you already have one and you don't want people to know that you're starting a new business, you can always create a new LinkedIn profile. There's nothing wrong with that. I would suggest using your same name because you will be dealing with suppliers and it's probably easier just to use your real name when communicating with them. But just don't put a picture on there of you. And you can put your new business that you're coming up with, the new business name that you're coming up with. And if you're concerned about having two different LinkedIn profiles with the exact same name, well, just do a search on LinkedIn. You'll see that there are dozens, if not hundreds of people with the same name out there. It's very, very common for people to have the same name and be completely different people and different profiles on LinkedIn. Now let's hop on over to my web browser and show you how this is done. So the first thing we need to do is to get our own domain, which is simply a website URL, and we'll use this simply for an email address. We don't have to worry about setting up a website at all right now. That can come later on down the road. We might not even use this domain for that. This is simply to get email going. And I'm on GoDaddy.com. There are lots of other companies out there you can use as well. I just prefer them because they're so easy to work with, they're affordable, and they have great customer technical support. I am not a very technical person. And GoDaddy, I found, has great people. You can get right on the phone with them or in a live chat, and they'll walk you through whatever it is you're trying to do. Another benefit of going through GoDaddy is that almost year-round, they have a special promotion running where you can get a domain for only 99 cents for an entire year. So even if you pick a domain here and you just use it for an email address and use it for an entire year and decide to change your company name or get a different website name, you can do that and only have spent 99 cents. So if you just go to GoDaddy.com, the option to take would be the standout with the domain as low as 99 cents per year. And when you choose this option, you'll also get a free email address as well. Now, I'm not going to walk you through the exact process of getting this all set up because actually, I don't know exactly how to do it technically. I always contact GoDaddy and have them walk me through it. And that's why I suggest them. So once you find your own domain name, I would simply give GoDaddy or whatever company you're working with a call using their technical support hotline, and they'll walk you up getting your email address set up. It's normally incredibly fast, usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes, and it's very, very simple to do. Now, once you have your domain and email address set up, the next step then would be to create your LinkedIn profile. So let's go up here and go to LinkedIn. Now, when you go to LinkedIn without being signed in, they immediately want you to sign up. So let's go ahead and let me enter my information here. So there's my information. And once you're done, we simply click the Join Now button. And now we set up a few basic pieces of information. So you pick your country, we pick the postal code. I'm going to go ahead and put in my own home code, 62221. Click Next. And let's see, so to enter some basic information, my most recent job title was, let's see, entrepreneur. And then the next step is to list your most recent company. You can simply put in self-employed. You don't have to worry about putting in your own company actually. So we'll just put in self-employed and click on continue. Now, you want to check the email to make sure that you have gotten a PIN number that they'll be giving you in order to verify this is you. So I'm going to go over there, get my PIN number, and click on the agree and confirm. So the next couple steps you can simply skip over. I don't have to have them go through and find all my contacts. I'm going to skip it. And then here we are. So these are lots of people they're suggesting that I get connected to, probably because a lot of these people are sellers on Amazon. The next step is to simply, again, you can skip this step here. You do want to add a photo of yourself, so I'm going to do that right now. All right, so I picked this fun one of Matt Clark and I doing a product showcase. Probably not the best picture of me, but what the heck, let's use it for now either. Anyway, you can go ahead and you can pick a much better picture, but I will save that one. Click continue. Now, in the next step, they want you to download the LinkedIn app. If you can see that until you enter in a phone number and say, text me the link, you can't really go on from there. But what you can do is simply click on one of these buttons down here to pull it up in the store. And then if you go back, you should be able to click on the LinkedIn button. And that should bring you to your profile. Now, if they keep asking you to download the app, you may have to do that. Sometimes LinkedIn can be weird. They really want you to download the app on your phone, and they'll keep trying to get to do that. But I simply just keep going up to my menu and clicking on any one of these options, and that will normally get you into your profile by skipping that step. So that's it. You can go ahead and add in any other information that you want. You could add in your company name that you plan on using for this new business. That's always a good thing to put in there. You can add in your email address. They already have that, but you can feel free to share that, make it public with other people. But once you have this LinkedIn profile set up, you're ready to go. And then the next step is to go over to Alibaba. Let's do that right now. So here I am on the Alibaba website, and the beauty of us creating that LinkedIn profile before signing up for Alibaba is that it's going to make this process really simple. So let's go up to the Join for Free. And when you do that, you will see the Get Started Now buttons come up, and look at these other options. They keep adding them. So if you wanted to sign in with your Facebook account, you could, your Google account, your LinkedIn, or your Twitter account. These are all things that make it really simple because Alibaba then knows that you are a legitimate person, and they will sign you up for free immediately. Since I just created a LinkedIn profile, I'm going to use that. But of course, if you want to, you could use these other ones as well. But we'll click on the LinkedIn button. It's going to ask me to sign in, say, is all this okay? I really love that picture there. And simply click on allow. Then the final step will be to confirm your email address with Alibaba. So go check your email address, click on the email that comes from them, and then click on the confirm link. It may take a little bit of time. Sometimes Alibaba is backed up. So whenever that email comes through, simply confirm your email address, and then your Alibaba account is set up as well. You may want to go through and update your name and your company name just to make sure it all came over correctly from LinkedIn. And then once you've done that, that's all there is to do. Then the final step in creating your professional online presence will be to create a page on Facebook. Let's go do that right now. So I'm on Facebook, logged into my account, and I'm on the Create a Page section. Now to find this, it's actually pretty simple. Go up to the search, type in Create a Page, and then it'll give you the Facebook shortcut right there to create a page. There's lots of ways to find this. You'll also see at the very bottom of the screen, there's always a link for creating a page. And you can go anywhere from your own menu up here to find that as well. So there's lots of ways to find this. But once you get here, you can create a page using different options. I like to choose brand or product. You could pick company, organization, or institution. But in general, brand or product seems to work better for this. Even though we're not actually creating our brand page or a product page yet, for this step, I like to use this because it'll get this page created and we can always change the name later on. So we're going to click on this. It's going to ask us to choose the category, and it's going to be a brand. And we want to give our brand or product a name. This is really our company name. So let's call this one Amazing Products Limited. And we're going to click on Get Started. Now, once we've done that, the page is set up for us. We can just go through some very simple steps. We could skip these altogether. We're not really going to be using this for much. We could upload a profile picture of our logo or our company, but we don't have any of those yet, so I'm simply going to skip them for now. And that's it. Your Facebook page is set up. There's nothing we'll be using this for right now. It's simply going to be there for later on down the road when we're launching our products and we want to start creating some social media posts and some buzz, and then we actually want to use it to run ads for it. We'll have this set up later on. And don't worry about the name for it. You can change the name later on. Or you could simply create another Facebook page later on. Don't feel like you have to create this one right now and you have to know what your product is and what your brand is. You do not. This is simply to get a page set up so you know how to do it. And if you want to use this later on, we absolutely have this one ready to go to use. Now, if you followed all the steps in this lesson, you should have a professional online presence set up and ready to go. And once you've done that, be sure to go get your online professional badge. And next, in the next lesson, we're going to start looking for suppliers. So head on over and I'll see you there.